The ocean has always been a world of its own, vast, mysterious, and endless. Its surface sparkles with the sun's reflection, yet beneath that shimmering skin lies a kingdom unseen by man. It is a place of secrets, of songs carried by the currents, of creatures both beautiful and terrifying. Deep within that kingdom lived Mireya, a mermaid unlike any other. Her skin glowed faintly like polished pearl under the moonlight, and her tail shimmered in hues of emerald and gold, catching even the faintest glimmers of light. Long strands of dark, wavy hair floated freely behind her as she glided through the waters, her large eyes watching everything with curiosity and wonder. To those who saw her, she was a goddess, majestic, ethereal, powerful. Yet Mireya carried within her a secret emptiness. For though she possessed the ocean's treasures, the laughter of dolphins, and the songs of her mermaid sisters, there was something missing. Every evening, when the tides rose high and kissed the horizon, she would swim upward, her eyes fixed on the land. There on the distant shores, humans gathered, talking, laughing, embracing. Families roasted yams by firelight, lovers held hands, children played in the sand. Mireya would watch for hours, unseen, her heart swelling and breaking at the same time. "Why do they look so complete?" she would whisper to herself. "Why does their laughter warm me more than all the treasures of the sea?" Her sisters often mocked her for this weakness. "Why do you envy mortals?" they would ask. "You are a queen of the waters. Humans are fragile, greedy, and fleeting. What do they have that we do not?" But Mireya never answered them. She simply smiled, though her heart felt heavy. She was not satisfied with being worshipped. She longed for companionship. She longed to be touched, not as a goddess, but as a woman. One morning, as golden sunlight spilled across the waters, Mireya swam to her usual place near the horizon. The sea was calm, its rhythm steady, like a heartbeat beneath the sky. She rested on a large rock, letting the waves splash gently against her tail. She closed her eyes, and for the first time, she dared to imagine. Her heart whispered pictures of a man who would stand beside her, who would see her not as a creature of myth, but as his equal. She imagined his hand reaching for hers, his voice calling her name, his smile warming her heart. The image became sharper, more vivid. But suddenly, her eyes opened, and she gasped, for she was no longer seeing the ocean. She was staring into a vision unlike any she had ever known. Before her stood a magnificent duplex mansion in the heart of Nigeria. The house rose proudly with cream-white walls and golden accents, its wide glass windows gleaming in the sun. A grand balcony overlooked a flower-filled compound, and in the driveway rested sleek, expensive cars that sparkled like jewels. The air was filled with the scent of polished wood and leather, the quiet hum of luxury. And then she saw him. A man stepped out of the grand house. He was tall and well-built, with caramel-brown skin that glowed under the morning light. His face was handsome, with sharp cheekbones, kind yet confident eyes, and lips that curved in subtle determination. He wore a neatly pressed native outfit, royal blue with golden embroidery, and a matching blazer that gave him a perfect blend of tradition and modern elegance. In his left hand, he carried a sleek black briefcase. Mireya's heart thundered in her chest as her gaze followed him. She saw him stride through the living room, his polished shoes tapping on marble floors. She saw him pause at the dining table, pick up his car keys, and slip on his wristwatch with a calm grace. Every movement spoke of discipline, success, and quiet power. He walked down the marble steps, his blazer catching the sunlight. The world seemed to bow to his presence. As he moved toward his car parked outside, Mireya could not breathe. "This is him. This is the one," she whispered. Her chest tightened, her hands trembling against the rock. She leaned forward as if she could reach out and touch him. But just as suddenly as it appeared, the vision shattered. The grand mansion dissolved, the handsome man vanished, and Mireya found herself back on her rock, waves crashing at her side, her tail shimmering in the sunlight. She sat in silence, her heart racing wildly. Then she whispered with trembling lips, "I want him. I want him to myself. But for him to accept me, I must first become human." From that moment on, Mireya could no longer live as before. The ocean, once her paradise, now felt like a prison. Every song of her sisters sounded hollow. Every treasure she touched seemed worthless. Day and night, she thought only of him, the tall man in his native attire, the luxurious home, the confidence in his step. She imagined herself walking beside him, her hand in his, their laughter filling the air. She imagined being seen, not as a mythical creature, but as his woman. Her longing consumed her. "I must become human," she told herself. "I must leave this tale behind. I must find legs to walk the earth, arms to embrace, and a voice to love." But such a change was not simple. To trade the gifts of the sea for the form of a human was a dangerous choice. Few mermaids dared to attempt it, for the transformation was painful, and the price often unbearable. Yet Mireya's heart had already decided. One night, guided by the pull of her desire, Mireya swam far beyond the coral gardens and the shipwrecks that littered the ocean floor. She journeyed to a place most feared by her kind, the Caves of Whispers. Legends said that ancient spirits dwelled within those caves, spirits who could grant wishes, but never without taking something in return. Many who entered were never seen again. The cave's mouth yawned like the jaws of a beast, its walls glowing faintly with strange, ghostly light. As Mireya entered, the water grew cold, pressing against her skin like ice. Shadows danced across the rocks, and voices echoed softly, though no one was there. Her heart pounded. Still, she swam deeper. "Spirits of the deep," she whispered, her voice trembling. "I am Mireya, daughter of the ocean. I come with a request. Grant me the form of a human. Give me legs to walk the earth, arms to embrace, and a voice to love." The water swirled violently. The whispers grew louder, rising into a storm of voices. "Human love is fleeting," one voice hissed. "You will lose what you are," another warned. "Do you accept the pain?" a third demanded. Mireya closed her eyes, her resolution burning bright. "Yes, I accept the pain. I accept the cost. For love, I will risk everything." The cave trembled. Suddenly, warmth surged through her body, searing and heavy. She screamed as her scales burned with golden fire. Her tail flickered, breaking apart, reshaping, splitting into two. For a brief, agonizing moment, she felt the weight of legs, strange, fragile, unfamiliar. But just as quickly, the transformation faltered. The waves inside the cave roared, hurling her out violently. She landed outside, gasping, her tail returned, her body trembling from exhaustion. She lay on the rocks, staring at the moonlit sky, her chest rising and falling with ragged breaths. And yet, she smiled, for she had felt it. For a fleeting moment, she had touched the possibility of being human. Yes, I will do it. I will become human. And he will be mine. Desire without sacrifice is empty. Mireya's dream showed her that every vision worth chasing requires pain and courage. But her decision also reveals a warning. When we chase love blindly, we risk losing ourselves. And so begins Mireya's journey. She has seen the man of her dreams, and her heart is set on becoming human. But will this decision bring her happiness or destroy her? If you enjoyed this first episode, like this video to support the story, subscribe so you don't miss episode 2, and share your thoughts in the comments. Would you give up everything you have, even your identity, for love?